DJ now. DJ now.
Yeah, I guess interviews in Hollywood, man. It's hard to get interviews out here. Well, yeah, this is the Hollywood documentary. We're trying to get some interviews. Hello. It's hard to get interviews out here. Nobody wants to be on the documentary. See if you can talk to him, man.
Yeah. How y'all doing? We're trying to get interviews with me today. We got 10 on these. They are hard like all stuff like that. Y'all know, we gonna see something I want for the interview, man. I mean, all four. Trying to get some dealing big, man. You think gonna see something over?
You know what we gotta do?
What we gotta do?
You gotta get outside.
You gotta go outside.
Outside. Hey, hang up on me.
Man, y'all on the phone, man, going. Just gotta go outside.
Hang up on me, man.
We gotta go outside. We outside. Outside, here we come. Outside, trying to find these folks to get them. I hear about them out of the be snobby now. Never know they get each other in and back, man. Life of opportunity right now. Cause Fivefools Film TV, the station, they doing numbers, man. If you want your interview, the documentary, man, come get on the channel with us, man. Get discovered by somebody. Tell your story. You get seen. Get heard.
My first step, I was living in Arizona, working at a hotel as a bellman, and I knew one of my buddies was going to be moving out here. I met him through a friend of mine, and I was doing extra work in Arizona. I didn't have a car or anything. I was like in my early 20s, and I'm like, man, once I get a car, I'm going to go to Hollywood. I love this extra work. And that was kind of my first thing, and my first step was we came out here like Memorial Day weekend in the 90s, and we both got jobs. We got offers over the phone, and we're like, oh, guess we're going to Hollywood. So 2 days later, we got the call and we drove to Hollywood that night, slept on the beach in Torrance. Next day we had an apartment and we worked at a hotel, and that's kind of how I got started out here in Hollywood.
I mean, I'm like born and raised here, you know, so I've always kind of been around the entertainment industry and stuff. Not in a super close capacity, but you know, when you live here, you see all kinds of things, you know. But recently I got into music, you know, and I'm in a band, so now we're really trying to get into it. And I think just being able to live the dream that not many people can say they went after something that they wanted to do, you know, have that passion, have that drive. You know, a lot of people just live their lives like wishing they could have done something, you know. You don't have to succeed, you just got to put yourself out there. So being raised here, like being around it, seeing all these people at least pursue what they wanted to, that's inspirational, you know. And
honestly though, so I don't work in Hollywood, but like I said, like I work in Pasadena, my little job type shit, but born and raised in Anaheim, California. You know, I love that city, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm born and raised. I love that town and all that. But like I said, you know, I mean, trying to live that dream in Hollywood, you feel me? Trying to be a rapper and all that. So hopefully one day, you know, I can be out here. Y'all see my name on that billboard right there type shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's the dream, you feel me? So, yeah.
When I came to LA, I wanted to become an artist, get on. I had a little thing gassing for me. I had a couple million fans and stuff like that. When I came out here, I saw haters like judges, you feel me? They try to catch me up on cases. And then, you know, I had my mama inheritance and they stole that shit too, you feel me? And it really hurt my feelings. But life, you can still believe in this place, you feel me? But it seems like you need to come to LA with the bread rather than coming to LA to make the bread. It's crazy. But it's connections here. I'm not going to blow the city off in LA, as it's just dead. Hollywood is not anymore. Because right now, look, we're on the real place. We're on the stars where the stars are us. This is the red carpet. We have all of the stars that used to be here, and it's dark. You feel me? It's like an alley. That's not what we want it to be. So my move right here in LA is I'm taking some of my money to develop some stuff, and then take out the pee out of like the pee off the street, and then like I ain't gonna lie, I'm killing judges, I'm killing fucking sheriffs, I'm killing people that's trying to keep the streets like this, bro. Like the pandemic of fentanyl and killing kids and raping kids and stuff. I can't watch judges walk around here and do that. And I'm the guy that stopped all the beefing between the Bloods and the Crips. I did almost 2 years in North Kern. Every single day I sat there with the Bloods and the Crips, and I counseled the young men in the community every single day, bro. You feel me? And we came back out after, look, if you check the statistic, the last 15 months in LA has been the lowest crime in the history of LA. A lot of people don't even know that, bro. You understand me? And the judges, when they found out that the Bloods and the Crips and all these kids were behaving themselves, they went to find them to misbehave. They went to find Bloods and Crips to put them, to get them in trouble. When they found out the kids were done with the gang, and they listened to me and when I said that you are bigger than a gang. I don't want to see you in a gang, brother. They got beat up, DP, another one got DP, they jump on the other one, all their friends betrayed him. Look how long I've been fighting people for this guy. He killing people, and they end up, they turn against me at the drop of a dime, and it wasn't worth it. You understand me? As a gang, it wasn't worth it. So when they learned that it wasn't worth it, a lot of kids, they changed, bro. You feel me? They out on the outskirts, they came to the Bay. Some of them came to the Bay. Some of them came to different states. They have a job. Some of them are married right now. And I'm proud of them. You feel me? I seen one on the bus today. I can't wait. I just waiting to see them. They were gang leaders. Big people too, in Crips and Bloods. And imagine I did that for LA. LA, I did that. When they came and they told me their lifestyle, they were crying. They said, man, I don't got no choice. I came into the jail. I told them this. I said, you come into the jail and they say, you gotta have stuff like, you gotta be a part of Crips Bloods, right? And I said, no, I'm one man and I'm standing alone. You respect my fucking gangster. If you beat me up with 15, 13 people in here today, remember, I'm gonna catch you on the street somehow, bro. And it's gonna be a one-on-one, you understand me? But I'm standing alone. You know who's my fucking gang? My daughter. You know who's my gang? My sister. You know who's my gang? My mother. My girlfriend, bro. My cup of tea. My phone. My home. That's my gang. My little one car that I have to take me back and forth to work. That's my gang, bro. That's what I rep. Myself.
How did you take your first step to do it?
I do security, so I just seen some address out here, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna apply to it, you know? I'm from downtown LA, so Pico Union area. You know where Staples Center at? You know how they killed it, they put it in crypto? Originally Staples Center.
I've been motion mapping software for the humanoid robots, and my company is Simology. And I filed a patent for the motion mapping software about a year ago, and to teleoperate and collect data to get these bots autonomous. We're working on, to get them different autonomous features. We're working on the visual language action model, and my software basically uses natural language to computer coding to create simulations, motion mapping simulations that we could teleoperate, send our motions to the robotics to teleoperate. And yeah, I've been working on it for about a year, testing out the software for the quadruped. It's made by the same company the humanoid is, and it's some fun software. It's moving quick. The faster the AI develops, the faster the robotics are, and everything is. And it really bringing the robotics to life. Well, I came down here 20 years ago for medical cannabis, and I sold my company a couple years ago, and now I've just been working with AI. I actually bought a house up in Santa Clarita that was next to a landfill, and it poisoned me, and I just started studying AI, hoping that I could figure out some kind of, figure out what's wrong with me. And I actually found out it was poison in the air, so I got out of the area, and just been working with AI ever since, and I've seen it so many seen it improving so quickly. And after the natural language of computer coding got good enough to actually code with language, I filed a patent for the motion mapping software, and we developed these simulations that are we could pretty much simulate anything and everything, and they're going to really come to life. And with the fast inference coming up with the language models, we're really going to start to make some major improvements that we're going to merge with the video. We're going to be jumping in and out of live streaming AI video. It's going to be some awesome times. I'm also working on a brain-computer interface, a patent for that too, which will, it's going to be awesome. We can control robotics with it and also get, and it's going to bring so much function, a lot of function. We're going to have different stimulations in the simulations that we create. So look forward to simology and all the new technology coming up soon.
Challenges early. So when I first got out here, I got my first agent, and I was going to do commercials, and I was going to be a big TV star. And so I got my first pictures taken. And basically, I got them taken by somebody I met somewhere, and they took the photos. And man, when they did the photos, it was like $100 or something. I forget what it was. I got them back, and they're supposed to be professional. And I had sweat coming down my forehead. I had all kinds of beads of sweat going. I went to an agent and I'm like, hey, are these gonna get me some auditions? And she looked at him, she's like, you're gonna have to get some new headshots done. So I think my first lesson was, don't go for the first person that says they're a professional photographer.
The challenges that I personally faced, just like internal life stuff, friendships coming and going, relationships building up and, falling apart. Just everyday instances and experiences with people, you get to meet and greet all kinds of individuals from all over the place. This is the melting pot of at least California. I don't know about all of America, but definitely California for sure. LA and Hollywood. Meeting everybody has helped shape me into the character that I am.
Man, it was crazy though. I started this probably like 5 years ago, 2020, believe it or not. So I feel like I'm kind of like not brand new in this game, but I kind of am, you know what I'm saying? But, I've already been on a label team, and all that. Now I'm being independent for 2 years now, so I get my name on the right doors type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm knocking on them. So like I said, so one day, just saying, don't be surprised, you're gonna remember my name type shit.
You have to pay deep attention. Who's the gang members now? CIA, FBI, sheriffs, LAPD. Those are labeled now as the menace of United States of America. Exactly. They don't want to show it. #1 public enemy, white man posted. You remember when they used to say black man rape? Today it's #1 posted, white man rapist. #1 in the whole country, the whole world.
A lot of aggressive people. Yeah, a lot of aggressive people. I'm calm though. I know how to de-escalate things, so everything's gravy with me,
Oh, it was cannabis industry for 20 years. It was real, a lot of hurdles. And after they came out with the new regulations, it really threw everything off. So I had to decide a different path. And I've worked with computers a lot before, and the motion mapping software is something that I've worked with a long time ago. And when the AI came out and these two are paired together, we could do some awesome things and simulate everything. We're going to be able to fix so much in the real world that we could simulate first in these simulations, and then we're going to turn everybody into computer software developers, and the natural language, they'll be able to handle some really complex and custom tasks, and it's going to be some awesome times coming up with this new tech.
So here's a pretty cool story. One of the first gigs I got that was pretty much an impact on me. I was a big fan of the show Starsky and Hutch back in the day, back in the 80s or whatever, Starsky and Hutch. And I got booked as an extra on a small film, and then they gave me a little bit part in it, but later on I got cut out. But the cool thing was, the director was Paul Michael Glacier, who I never knew was a director at the time, and he played Starsky in Starsky and Hutch, the original. But even cooler, the movie was called Shazam, and Shaq was in it. And Shaq was on a, we'd work, and Shaq would hang out a little bit. He was like the coolest first celebrity I ever met, who actually shook your hand, really cared about how your day was going. And I talked to Shaq a couple days, just hi here and there on the set. And that was my first thing where, like, you know, celebrities can be cool. So that was my first really cool Hollywood story. And I made some money on that little film. I worked like 3 or 4 days, but I didn't get the credit for it. I was kind of bumped down to an extra because they didn't use my line, but still a real cool experience.
I can't say I've had too many negative experiences with like the artistic projects that, you know, that have me involved here in Hollywood, but it's definitely a grind. You know, it's not for everybody. You know, you gotta have determination and grit. You know, you gotta really put yourself out there, and you can't be afraid of failure. And, you know, just have fun with it. You know, you can't take life too seriously.
Man, projects, man. Too many of them. I would say probably, besides this one, A Life of a Dog, which is out on our platforms and all that. But if you know type stuff, you know. I had a little project way back in the day, same title, A Life of a Dog, but that's my old label team type stuff, you know what I'm saying? But you know, but it's just where you grew up in, how you started it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm never gonna forget where I started at, you know, so where I'll never be where I'm at if that didn't happen type shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
So it's a vision, like it's a business plan when you're starting off in Hollywood. You want to think about how am I gonna come off here and hit the ground running, or how am I gonna come here and make life for myself? You understand me? You don't want to, you know, nowadays it's okay to make enemies. You gotta know your enemies and know that we can't be in the same room. We have to differentiate. I'm good, you're evil. We can't be the same people. You feel me? So that's a part of coming to LA and developing your craft and stuff. You have to have a vision, a little startup plan, and that's what it is. Yeah.
Shit, I once had this one dude try to stab me, all because I told him that he couldn't kick it right here. So, but it was nothing major.
I've had a lot of, in the cannabis industry, it's been a lot of hurdles, and we've just had to take all the blows and keep it moving. So yeah, that's, I'm never gonna forget that. And I'm hoping to bring the robotics back into the cannabis industry and get the pricing brought down more to where it's nothing, hopefully, and also get the quality brought up. The quality brought up for the patients and people that really need it, because it's a medicine, and right now they're really missing out because of the corporate involvement.
You know, you don't see how much sitting around goes on. Like, especially work as an extra or a small day player, like you get a line. You're sitting around for like 7 to 9 hours, and then it's like, okay, let's go. And you're like, oh, I gotta wake up. I've been eating craft services all day, and it's like, there's a ton of dead time just sitting around. You know, it depends on who's running the show, but there's a lot of dead time, a lot of sitting around, a lot of people talking, and hey, you know, what are you doing? What's your next gig? That type of stuff. But and then this roll camera, you're done in like 30 seconds, sign your thing, check comes like 3 days later.
Just how exhausting it is, you know. I mean, everyone thinks making a film is really easy, and making music too. You know, people think they just sit down and all these brilliant people have these wonderful ideas right off the bat, right off the get-go, and that's not how it works, man. Back to your previous question, you know, it's the challenges that make us or break us, and so, you know, those experiences shape the ideas and creativity that everyone, you know, comes up with and blossoms.
Man, so, I mean, just be yourself at the end of the day. What are you going to bring it into? You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, producing, rapping, or just in life in general. Don't change up, don't switch up, you know what I'm saying? So, like, at the end of the day, it's going to be your story. You know, let's not forget the other stories, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, it's, no one can be you. You know what I'm saying? Just fill in your shoes type thing. So, yeah.
My challenge is poverty, man. I come from a poverty-stricken area. It was hard for us. But what didn't kill us made us stronger, made us angrier, made us militant, and we came back with a fire in our eyes. A lot of time we lost the battle. We lost it. We had change on our feet. We was in the cells until we put the judge in the cell, bro. You understand? We was really in there. I sit up beside my friend. We was on the soccer field when I got deported my first time, you know, as an American citizen, and my brother peed himself on the bed. He peed himself on the floor, I should say, and I had to cover him. Like, we went through real life where he was sweating, he had HIV, and I was trying to help a brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've been through real times, and we made it, we became stronger. It's not easy, bro.
A lot of things, like different situations. One thing I did, I got to meet a lot of connections, a lot of people, you know? You know, they should know that we should start using these robots not for profit. We should use them for to get this, to help the people with it, because putting robots against humans is it's not a good plan, because it's already tough enough to with the computers against humans, and we need to start using these robots not for profit and getting them out helping the people. And
so authentic wise, I come from I use some of a lot of my real life experiences. Like I've lived in Sunset quite a while. I've always lived off Sunset Boulevard, so I see funny things that happen on Sunset Boulevard, and I do some writing. I had a film out a couple years ago, and that really helped me with some of my background stuff, like trying to create characters. You know, I want to make one guy a little goofier, so I'll be like, oh, I remember this time I was talking to a guy on Sunset about, you know, he's a little bit out there. When I got home, I'm like, I don't know if that guy was all there, you know, but neither am I sometimes. But I just use life experiences. That's one of those things they teach you first out, is use your life experiences, whether you're a writer or an actor, and you can use that towards anything kind of in Hollywood. Even as I think a director and producer, you can use just your everyday life experiences, you know, behind the camera also.
I would just say, you know, I've been blessed to be on this earth, to have the privileges that I do due to, you know, God and also my family. You know, all praise to Him, you know. So I'm able to be my authentic self because of what I've been through, and because I know I have all the support in the world. So I'm not afraid to be myself. I'm not afraid to do what I want to do, say what I want to say, because I know I'm backed by the people that love me, and I'm backed by Jesus Christ.
Man, you know, I thought about RJ, Mr. LA, you know what I'm saying, yo, too, so yeah, you know what I'm saying, get rich, different, all that, you know what I'm saying, so yeah, no, yeah, that's my go-to right there.
My impact is you, and I need to see my impact on you. I'm trying to see my impact on people. My gang, the gang, not saying I don't have a gang. Let's just say I have a gang, which is the world, right? The impact is supposed to be made on how people move. You understand me? Like, don't talk to the cop, it's illegal. The people, they put bombs down here, bro, in iRobots, bro, to intimidate people. There's women out here getting raped, bro. They don't even want to open their mouth, bro. And when I saw them, bro, I was so hurt, because I love pussy. I can't get pussy because she's scared for her life. Shit like that, you feel me?
I just be myself, to be honest. I just be myself. I follow rules. Like I said, I treat everybody with respect. So,
well, I'd like to differentiate myself with a user-friendly interface for my program, and get everybody into the natural language decoding to come up with custom solutions to a lot of very tough problems. And I'd like to how to differentiate myself. I'd also like to get these robots helping people, not for profit, and farming and building up communities. I'd like to see, yeah, not putting the robots against people and having the robots work with people. And
so let's see, the best project, as far as like acting wise, commercials is where I really learned how things work, because commercials are really speedy, you go fast. You got to get done in a day, and then I use that in experiences with films that I did later on, like how you got to beat the sunlight, you got to cut lunch short, you got to do things to get the time in so you don't go into overtime. But I would say just work as an extra back in the day, like on those movies, just kind of helps you learn things you could learn in film school if you pay 30 grand a year, but you can learn stuff just by being on the set and being around knowledgeable people, whether it's a grip, other extras, or directors, you know, and producers, things like that. You learn a lot from people just by having lunch with them every day.
System of a Down. Enough said. they're a huge inspiration. They're LA born and raised. They're Armenian like I am. I'm very proud of my heritage. They're very proud of their heritage.
Just the internet, I would say, is different from everything. Literally, you can just not even step outside these days. I'm saying, as a rapper for sure, like when I grew up in, like, you know, like all that stuff, selling CDs, people outside type shit. But like I said, everything is legit right here. Legit. On YouTube, Instagram, you know, TikTok type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's like easier, but easier in the sense to, like, you know, promote yourself type stuff these days. Yeah, I would say.
Filming process, we have to be more creative with the filming processes. I think the filming process should be now of a new generation. So the old generation was when you hit somebody, remember that sound? The sound effects have to change up. for the next generation of directors. This is my advice to my directors. The sound generation, we're changing things up with the hits, the sounds, the music, the momentum that builds up to the storyline. And we want to have a happy ending. This story of life and this movie of life, we want to have a happy ending. That's the plan, is to have a happy ending.
Taught me how to talk to people. Yeah, how to talk to people.
You know, with this, yeah, with this AI project, I've been learning a lot more very rapidly. Like every day is many days in one, and it's advancing so fastly. I could say this project has been a very seeing so much potential in this project, so much more than the medical cannabis. And I never thought there would be anything better than the cannabis, and how much it brought people joy and helped their illness with non-toxic and being non-toxic. But yeah, with this AI, I see so much more potential, and with the rate of these models increasing, the intelligence rate so rapidly, I foresee some very awesome times happening, especially merging with biology. I can see many people getting helped.
Well, the biggest shift is just media in general. I mean, back in the day when I first came out here, it was like I'd wear a pager, I'd be at the beach, and my agent would page me, and I'm like, dude, I'd have no idea what it was. I'm like, is it an audition? Did I book yesterday's audition? You'd run like anywhere you were, you'd keep a pocket full of quarters. Because I'd be at Manhattan Beach one day, and my agent would page, I'd be like, oh man, I gotta find a payphone. And there was payphones all over back then, so you'd call, and you'd be like, hey, did I book something? They're like, no, it's just a callback for Pepsi. And I'm like, oh man, I thought I booked that yesterday. It was so good. And nowadays you get it. You can do your whole audition like this on a phone. You can do an audition on anything these days. But back in the day, it was like, hey, you're going to Santa Monica Studios. You're driving to the West Side at 4 o'clock for an audition. It's going to take you 2 hours, another 2 hours for parking, you know, things like that. Where today you're like, hey, you can do it from home. You just have to send it in by Friday. You know, it's your taped only. Just send it to so-and-so by Friday and you're all set. So those are the real big changes. And social media in general is just, everything's changed so much just by how you make movies on down to how you audition these days. It's crazy.
It's kind of always, I mean, I'm younger, so, you know, being raised here in like Los Feliz and Hollywood, it's kind of always been a little more on the grimy and dirtier side, like just based off the streets, you know, like everyone sees in movies and media, like, you know, Hollywood is for the elite, Hollywood is for like the rich, for the famous, you know, and you'll see nice cars driving around, but, you know, when you actually walk through the Walk of Fame and you see all the stars and shit, I don't know, it's always been not what it appears to be. And that's a little unfortunate, you know, especially when you live here. You want to have pride in where you're from. But I definitely think there's been a little bit of a culture shift. I hope Hollywood's on the rise. I'm a little more of an optimist, so we'll see.
Film, man, it's crazy, man. Like, people are getting better, man, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Just from the edits, the camera and stuff, man. So I think it's just, whatever it is, like I said, come to that topic. It's best into yourself, man, whatever it is. So I'm saying, if it's not you doing it, then you know what I'm saying, then who else gonna do it for you type stuff, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said,
okay, my authenticness is a part of like my creative. I never had writer block before. I'm a creator. I've always created stuff. And today, you know, we got a lot of things to come. We don't need to lose out. I'm fixing radiation for it to make us less, attack our bodies less, right? So we live longer. I've studied this turtle. I can help people to live 500 years from now. More lives. We're gonna have flying cars. They're developing, they're getting better, they're getting bigger. The world that we have, if we drop off some of the baggages, and so we live in this beautiful world. It's authentic, bro. I have so much things planned for the future.
I want to say I was a very aggressive person. I kind of calmed down because of situations.
You know, I've seen it. It's a tough question. I mean, I've seen it less active around here in some ways, but you know, just with the internet coming out and with the social media and YouTube, you know, I've seen it have its negative impacts. But You know, I can foresee with AI and a lot of the automation and robotics, and I can see a lot of awesome improvements happening here and everywhere else also. I can see everywhere getting built up like Hollywood, and everywhere being a happy place like Hollywood is.
You actually almost said it there in the question, because the immediate thing I thought of was the movie Transformers, with all that CGI and everything you can use it. You know, you don't have to have all those things on the set. In the good old days, you do a movie about the 70s, you had to have the old Chevy car, you had to have the old wardrobe. A lot of that stuff nowadays, especially the action films, are, you know, a green screen, CGI behind me, talking dinosaurs, you know, all kinds of crazy stuff going on behind you that you just didn't do back in the day. You know, back in the day, you'd be piecing things together like, oh man, I hope this looks like a monster, you know, and you just have somebody back there in a costume or whatever. But now you got so many things graphic-wise you can do, even in post, in editing, things like that. It's crazy.
I think just advanced camera tech, you know, helps with filming, cinematography. You know, you got advanced, you know, tech in the music industry, you know, for producers and people who, you know, mix and master music. And so I think just every time something's updated or perfected, it really... Sorry guys. So there's Hollywood for you, man. It's a tourist attraction, but it's also a tourist crowd. But yeah, man, just technology overall, you know, it helps with marketing, advertisement, it helps create better pictures, it helps create better music. It helps create like really clean overall products. You know, I think a lot of people take it for granted. I'm not one to always praise technology, you know, like AI and shit, you know, but I definitely think there's some pluses to it.
Man, for sure, patience. You know, because everything's not gonna come overnight. For sure, you know, whatever it is, patience, consistency. And, you know, just believe in yourself at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, like I said, you get a million fans and all that, you know, doing all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to be on you. Put in that work every day, behind the scenes, all that stuff. So, yeah, so at the end of the day, believe in yourself.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm a Friday dude. I don't know. I just can't get over Friday. Especially these days when the top flight securities are like trying to show, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it was Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers is a good film. It's a good. That was a really good movie.
How have you seen Hollywood change over the years, and what been the biggest shift in your opinion?
The biggest shift?
How have you seen Hollywood change over the years, and what is your biggest shift in your opinion?
My biggest opinion, I've been watching Hollywood. I think Hollywood needs a different face. Hollywood just been in one sector, but we're gonna develop a different Hollywood. Let's just change it over. We're gonna give some people a chance and just envision Hollywood. Hollywood is where we make things change.
Keep working. Keep working. Focus on yourself. Don't distract yourself with women.
Oh, right now with the new video generators, it really takes a lot of the production costs out of the whole scene. So I could foresee like one prompt producing a whole film and just making so much of this obsolete and turning everybody into a Hollywood. So it's going to be a big change, but there's a lot of creative and bright minds out here, and I could see everybody working together and making it extra awesome.
Have my parents be producers when I was growing up. No, but what I would do is, like, I've always worked hard, but things I learned the hard way, you know, get my photos. There's always something where you learn from your lessons, you know, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. It cost me a couple $100, but you learn from your lessons. So looking back, I wish I would have researched a little more. Just like, don't jump at the first chance of, hey, this guy, my friend Susie's a great photographer. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, man, Susie only got like this side of my face or something. She got my, you know, my eyes were closed. But just kind of research more. But you learn that just growing, you know, even just being more mature, you know. So just, you kind of learn as you go. And that's kind of like the hard knocks of Hollywood. Like, you're going to get knocked down. There was times I couldn't pay the rent, and then like I'd get a commercial check for something. It'd pay my rent for like 3 months. I'm like, oh man, this is great. This is the best business ever. So it's like, you really got to be tough, man. You got to go with the ups and downs. You really have to be hardcore about it. You have to focus, have drive, and just bang it out every day, seriously.
And just be yourself, man. Everybody's gonna be everybody, and you gotta learn how to roll with that. A little more difficult to say, but I just hope people recognize me for being a human being and, you know, being real. You know, I'm always gonna speak my mind and say what I want to say. You know, I care about the things I care about. Not everybody has to agree with me, but I want people to, you know, to listen to what I have to say, or, you know, listen to things that, or watch rather the things that I'm doing, and at least be able to say that I was my authentic self.
Man, make an impact, dude, because for me, like, the way I grew up in, you don't gotta be the biggest artist in the industry, but for me, take a step outside your neighborhood, which I love, Anaheim, y'all give me the most love, still to this day. So literally, I can step outside and be like, man, like, not saying people know my name on this stuff, but I get that respect, in a sense. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just step outside, you know, if you got love in your own city, which I love. So yeah, type shit, then you win.
Technology has played a huge role, but technology has kind of like, it's also magical. Don't leave out magic. Magic and technology now works together, and it's a good partnership. It makes stuff faster, it makes stuff easier for us, and stuff like that. So we learned a little bit about magic and the technology, and we're gonna be great. Like moving forward in Hollywood, it's a good thing. Everybody knows about it now. It wasn't hidden anymore, and now we know about magic, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't have to work for anybody.
You know, I'd like to say, I wouldn't want to give myself any advice. Everything happened with a lesson and a reason. Happened for a reason, so no, I wouldn't change anything. Well, I hope this AI I could build this company up, and the motion mapping could start paying people and giving people compute for their motion, and making people not feel like they're obsolete anymore, and helping people merge with the AI, because this, as simple as it sounds, the camera software and the motion mapping software that I'm developed, it actually is the first step of merging us with the AI, and the brain-computer interface will be the next. So I'm hoping this will help be the first step to getting people paid and compensated from AI instead of just taking their job. So that's what I'd like to contribute.
I hope my legacy will be, hey, this guy had a dream. It took me 20 years to get my movie made, 40 Love. It's a road trip comedy about tennis. It took me 20 years. I never quit. I had multiple meetings. I walked this block on Sunset probably a million miles with my script back in the day, trying to sell it. I'd talk to anybody, I'd pitch it to anybody. But I hope my legacy is just, hey man, he didn't do a ton of movies. Don't really know who he is except from this video. But Beak hit it hard. He did it every day. He chased his dreams. He didn't sell out. He didn't kiss, you know what? He worked hard, he got it done. He got the dream going. My legacy is, I got my movie made after 20 years. It got in the theaters. Boom, baby. Make it happen.
Okay, be ready for housing. Make sure you're in the right place to stay. If you do get in shelter housing, make sure you have friends that's there that's doing hourly checks around the thing. So all night you have to do hourly checks. As one person finished, so you finish. Because Hollywood has a rape culture, and I don't like it. So a lot of soldiers came home from the military, and they're involved in rape culture, initiation of rape. And we don't want anybody to come to Hollywood as a tourist to get raped, okay? We don't want anybody to get sexually assaulted. We want to give Hollywood a good name as a place where you can come and make your dreams come true. Like we have the New York song, and say, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. And we are gonna have a LA, Los Angeles, we're gonna have a song. My legacy in filming is, I wanna put people on TV that never been there. Like family, like, you know, I was watching the film of, with that guy, what's his name? It's authentic people, normal people. You know what I'm saying? And just, we need to have better times. This is not a good time to, like, it's not a downfall day. We're supposed to be uplifted. And this is a good moment. We lost things and we saw it come. You know what I mean? We didn't know what we was in for until we got out of it. You understand me? And I warned people and they still dropped, and then there it was, bro. God, you know what I'm saying? But God is good, man. And all the time, God has your back. So believe, bro. I'm not, people know me, like, I'm not Satan, bro. God is, sometimes the wisdom is unmarked and uncensored. He can't tell you certain things because you can't become predictable to your enemy. Understand me? And I have too much enemies. As you can see, every single day. And it's for 30 years they've been following me. From the day I was born. Before I was born, people were plotting to kill me. Before I was born.
Yeah, like I was taking meeting? No.
DJ now.
Let's go. How often do you have to charge it?
It was 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
DJ now.